Get ready for Oskaloosa High School sports on the Indians Network. Live sports. Local content. Student-run broadcasts. MCG, Oski News, and KIIC bring you the Indians Network. Presented by Craig Ford.
Welcome, sports fans. I'm Ken Alsup, and I'll be your host for today. Today we'll be talking with J.C. White, the girls' basketball coach. Talk to DeJuan Foster, the boys' basketball coach, and Chase Weber, head coach for the Oskaloosa wrestling team. We'll be having a little discussion with DeJuan about the big conference win that the team had. We'll also talk with Chase about their conference and how that's going to shape up for districts. We want to thank Oskaloosa Hy-Vee, Wendell Cannonball State Farm, and Craig Ford for helping make all of these possible. We'll be right back. We'll have JC right after this, after the messages from our sponsors.
Hy-Vee's Choice Reserve and Prime Reserve Beef, arguably the best beef in America. Their quality and flavor are undisputable, undeniable. Let's get ready to be unstoppable! Decision. Hy-Vee!
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
Call State Farm agent Wendell Campbell at 641-673-4462.
Well, welcome back. We have girls head basketball coach J.C. White here, and you guys had an extremely busy week last week.
We did. The girls had a stretch of 3 tough games, and we competed. We played hard. We did a lot of good things, so I was proud of them for finishing well, but we got to get back after it this week with 3 more. So. Well,
let's start off. Early in the week, it was Bondurant-Farrar. And that was a makeup game, if I'm remembering right.
Correct. Yeah, it got snowed out.
Well, it is wintertime.
Yeah.
So in that one, you guys did pretty well. Amanda Fay had 9 points, 5 rebounds. Mary Nelson and Julian Jennings each had 6 points, and Gracie Flattery and Macy Career each had 3. But one of the things I've been noticing is you've been working in some of the younger girls into the rotation. Are you trying to build experience level with those for upcoming years, or are they just filling those roles that you need right now?
Yeah, they're really just filling roles. You know, for younger girls, for freshmen and sophomores, in any good program, you know, it's going to take them some time to get up to that varsity pace and varsity level. And we've been playing them at JV to get confidence, and you see a lot of those girls coming in with confidence in the varsity games, and that's because they're getting those JV minutes and we're letting them develop at that level. And so you're seeing Addie Carter come in and Presley Blomers come in, and a number of other girls, you know, when Flaherty gets on the floor, she does good things. And so there's those freshmen and sophomores. Blanco played well for us the other night. They're coming on strong at a good time.
Well, and then the other night, Tuesday night it was, DCG came to town, and they're a perennial powerhouse. So you have to figure out how to score against them, and all things considered, it went fairly well. Amanda Fay, once again, I think, led the scoring, and Mary Nelson had 9, which she hit, 3 of 4 from three-point land, I think?
Yeah, it's typically somewhere around there. So.
Yeah, and then the freshman, again, had 3 points off the bench, but turnovers and being out-rebounded probably hurt you guys the most.
Yeah, they're a tall, athletic team. They outsize us in every position, you know, other than Amanda maybe in the post. They don't really have a true post, but they're a tough matchup for us. The scoreboard doesn't always tell the story. You know, first half we held them to 26 points, and that's a great team to hold to 26 points defensively. Third quarter, fourth quarter kind of got away from us, but there's glimpses where we play really well and we play hard, and we're putting together good, solid quarters.
Well, and some of that good, solid quarters carried over to Friday when Newton came to town, and you guys were leading, I think, 13-7 at the end of the first quarter, and things were just clicking for you guys.
Yep, they were. I was really proud of the girls, how we played. Newton they're a tough matchup too. You know, they've got 2 post girls that are tough to match up with, and we got in some foul trouble, and we had to change up our defense a little bit and have some of our guards guarding posts, and we switched in some zone, and we tried to make adjustments and do what we could. Fourth quarter, it kind of got away from us just because we were mismatched there. But we did a lot of great things. We moved the ball better than we have all year. We took shots. There was stretches where they weren't falling, but we continued to shoot. So I was really happy with what we did offensively and defensively.
So, and we'll go back to those young players again. You've been developing them a little bit more. Are you seeing, changes in their game since you've put them out on the floor more?
I think they're just playing confidently, and like I said, that comes back to the JV minutes they're getting, where they're having great success at the JV level, playing together, and that's really going to help build the program in the future too, because we're keeping those freshmen and those sophomores together so that next year they're back and they're playing with the same girls. And so we're definitely thinking long term when we bring those younger girls up, as far as what can we do to develop the program as a whole. And they're really stepping up and doing a great job and filling roles that we need. And some games it's a different role, other games it's maybe a lesser role, but they do whatever we ask, and it's fun to watch.
Busy week last week, busy week coming up. So tell me a little bit about what your schedule's looking like, and quite frankly, the season's starting to wind down, so these are clicking by pretty quick.
It is. We've got Tuesday, Thursday, Friday this week, and then we've got Tuesday, Thursday the following week, and then we've got first round the week after that. So it's been a whirlwind. I'm excited coming back through the conference the second time around. There's a lot of teams that I think overlook us. But we're hearing it from other coaches in the conference, just, man, your girls are so improved, and that's just a testament to those girls and how hard they work, and they compete every night no matter who steps on the court. And I think if we continue to put it together and we can get all our things clicking at the same time, we can come out and surprise someone here still this second time through the conference, if the girls just keep doing what they're doing.
Well, and Pella will be here on Friday, and that's always a big game for anybody Oskaloosa is whenever Pella comes to town. Are your girls stoked about that? Are they excited to be able, because they're friends. I mean, there's up and down the highway there, people have friendships, and it's sometimes kind of good to take on your friends.
Yeah, I'm sure they're excited. We've just got girls that like to play basketball and they like to play together. And so some of the girls I know with Pella Christian too, we played in top 64 this summer, and so we played against some of those girls. So it is fun. It's kind of a friendly rivalry for us, but they're definitely a team that we can come out and we can do some good things and compete with them.
Good deal. And so that first tournament game for you guys is scheduled when?
I believe it's Wednesday the 19th. Don't quote me on that date.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to look it up.
Whenever that Wednesday is.
Whenever that Wednesday is. And have they selected those pairings yet for that?
Not yet. They should be out soon.
Okay. So, all right. Well, you guys are home on Thursday, Friday, or just Friday?
Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday. All right. Well, everybody come out, support the Indians on Thursday and Friday. And if you can't make it out, you can watch it here on the Indians Network or on MCG Channel 7. And we thank you for spending some time with us on Super Bowl Sunday, because that's not easy to give that time up. So
thanks, Ken.
Thank you. And we'd like to thank Wendell Campbell State Farm and Oskaloosa Hy-Vee for making these interviews possible. We'll be right back after this. All right.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
Call State Farm agent Wendell Campbell at 641-673-4462.
Hy-Vee's Choice Reserve and Prime Reserve Beef, arguably the best beef in America. Their quality and flavor are undisputable, undeniable. Let's get ready to be unstoppable! Unanimous decision, Hy-Vee!
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
Call State Farm agent Wendell Campbell at 641-673-4462.
Well, welcome back. We have DeJuan Foster. He's the coach for the Oskaloosa Indians varsity boys team. And you guys had almost a week off, and you had to knock some rust off, I think, early in the week.
Yeah, we went back to regular schedule, with no makeup games and stuff. So we had a little bit of time to get in gym practice a little bit. Came out Tuesday, and I thought we played okay. First half of the game was just kind of, DCG's a really good team, and we just tried to grind it out. It's a really low-scoring game, and we ended up coming up short. But we had some guys make some awesome individual efforts. I mean, we played Reese and Isaac a lot exclusively on those two guards from DCG, and they did a really good job. If you would have told me before the week ended that Rankin and Glasgow had 17 points between them, I think we won by double digits. We just didn't get shots to fall, and they did, and came a couple points short that day.
Well, it seemed like it was a defensive effort for both teams that night, and Xavier led scoring though with 18, and he had 7 rebounds and 4 block shots, so he made his presence known. And you talked about Reese Sarver, but Noah Van Veldhuizen had 8 points, and 2 of those were threes. So did you kind of help keep DCG off balance then with that variety?
Well, it's one of those things. It's hard to keep them off balance because they do so much different stuff defensively, and it was just trying to, if we could read what they were doing and make the proper basketball play is kind of what the goal was, and we did that pretty well for the most part. But, Noah made shots. Reese played really well, and our rotations were kind of wacky just because we had finally gotten Xavier back, and there were some guys who didn't play as much as maybe they did. We tinkered with the starting lineup a little bit, so it was a real kind of just fill it out type deal. And as the game went on, we felt more comfortable with our lineups, and I think the entire team played really well.
And you talked about that defensive effort of Ike Schultz and Reese Sarver, and they really kept the DCG guards off balance.
Yeah.
They scored 5 points. If you looked at the scoreboard, or the score sheet, you'd go, oh, well, they weren't that much of a factor, but they really were. And for DCG and Oskaloosa game to be 43-39,
right.
we know that was a defensive effort on both ends.
39 points in the game. That's just, you would think that game would be kind of boring to watch, but I thought it was it was a good back and forth game, and it really came down to, like I said, earlier in the week, I take full responsibility for this one. We had just mismanaged timeouts, wasn't able to drop a play. We got a shot to tie the game with, under 20 seconds left. It came up short. We had to foul. So it was just one of those things. As a coaching staff, we got to get better at managing timeouts and, with the stuff that we are drawing up out of timeouts, things of that nature.
Well, evidently something was learned because Newton came to town on Friday night, and there was a little bit of revenge, I think, in people's bloods.
There was, and the Newton-Oski rivalry has been brewing for a couple years. A couple years ago, they beat us pretty handily, and then the next year they didn't beat us, but they took us to the wire with Garrett Sturts scoring just about all the points in the game, and there was some social media back and forth between Oski kids and Newton kids, and it's just been one of those things that's been kind of brewing for a while. And then we went into Newton earlier this year, and the game was never in doubt. They were ahead they were ahead the whole game, and they just handed it to us, and the guys remembered that. That's stuff that these kids don't quite forget that stuff. And we came out and we were solid the first half, and we were really slow, and I, for lack of better terms, got after Xavier a little bit in the locker room at halftime because I thought he thought that scoring a lot of points is easy. Like you can just come out, shoot shots, and they'll go in, and it's easy. Well, being a really good basketball player is not easy, and I just challenged him to be the best player in the gym, and he responded. He got some easy dunks, layups, and then he just kind of went on a tear, and it went from a 1-point game to us being up 16, in the matter of a quarter.
I was going to say, at the end of the third quarter, you could have tossed a coin and it would have been anybody's ball game yet. But that fourth quarter, Oskaloosa just lit up, and all the cylinders were firing for you guys.
I mean, we played inside out. When you have a 7-foot kid and you can get him the ball and he's scoring in the paint, and we don't commit a bunch of turnovers, I think we can play with anybody.
Well, Foster ended up with 27 points, 12 rebounds, and the block shots, but he did have a little bit of foul trouble. Were you not worried about that? I think there's, about 3 minutes left?
3 minutes left, and it's one of those things where he's got it going now. So just kind of ride with him. If he fouls out, he fouls out. But it's a lot of it is, I believe, is conditioning. Just because he's been off for 2 weeks, came back. We played Tuesday, got a short practice on Wednesday, and got after it a little bit Thursday. But I think he can avoid those because he got a lot of kind of ticky-tack fouls. Instead of moving his feet, he slapped at the ball or whatever. If we can work on that conditioning, and as the season progresses and he stays healthy and stay conditioned, I think it will be okay with him on the floor.
And Xavier made the highlight reel with the dunks, but there was Noah Van Veldhuizen who hit 5 of 8 from three-point land. That really helped to change the direction of the game.
Oh, absolutely. Noah's a knockdown shooter. If left open, his feet said, it's either make or miss. I don't think he's really, it'll never hurt us with him shooting, good shots, open looks. So, that we tried to play inside out and we get some kickouts to him and he knocked down shots. And once we start knocking down shots, that opens up the floor for the inside game that we want to play or, we strive to. So it's a beautiful thing. And, even kids off the bench, Charlie North played a lot of minutes that game, and Charlie did really well. He got a couple key offensive rebounds, and he played great defense. The kid who Charlie was guarding, I think he averaged 13, 14 points a game as their leading scorer, and he did a really good job of staying between him and the basket and only giving them one shot. So it really helped us where we're scoring and getting stops. It's really easy to play that way.
Right, and I was going to mention that some of these younger players have been making an impact out there on the game floor and changing the way things are going for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're talking sophomores. We're getting to the point in the season where you're no longer sophomores. You're juniors now. You've played enough basketball to kind of be trusted in whatever your role may be, and that's what we're doing as a coaching staff. We're trying to get some of the pressure off Xavier and Noah and Ike, these seniors who've, we've kind of ridden and brought these other kids along slowly, and I think they're coming and they're starting to understand their role, and it's just about building and getting better day in and day out.
And for Ike, senior, he had a little bit of payback maybe on Friday night.
Oh yeah, I think Isaac played like 7 minutes in the game at Newton. He got 2 early fouls. We pulled him, and then he got fouled 3-4. Were kind of questionable. He got a technical. It was just one of those things. So it's one of those things. I'm pretty sure he had it on his mind that he wanted to be better, and Isaac did a really good job on Friday night.
I was going to say he was all over the floor, and he was Mr. Defense, as he often is. So let's talk about next week. You're going to travel to Norwalk. Never an easy one, but one that everybody looks forward to because, we got the Bowen Born and Xavier Foster show. And then we're going to host Pella on Friday night.
Big week.
A big week and you've had that taste of conference victory now.
Right. You finally got off the snot and got one in the conference. This week, it's a big week as far as even postseason seeding. We need to come out and, show people that when at full strength, we're a pretty good team. So we got to go out and containing Bowen Born. It's that thing that nobody's been able to do. I'm sure we're going to do some things to try to slow him down, but that's the thing you got to know. The kid is a good enough scorer, plays with great enough pace at the high school level till he's going to score buckets. It's about not feeling deflated when he makes 2-3 shots in a row and being able to be up for the challenge on that third shot, contesting and getting the rebound and, going playing offense. So if we come out and play hard, I think we'll be okay. And then, Friday we come home, the big game, our neighbors right down the road play Pella. And the Oski Pella games are always fun. It's a pretty, age-old rivalry. As long as I've been here, anytime Oski and Pella are at it, it's, both teams bring their best. So, and Pella's a really good team, who's playing really well at this point in the season. So we just got to come out and do what we do. We play inside out, knock down shots, and good defense will be okay.
All right. Well, and seeding will be coming up here. So what are we is there a feeler of where you are thinking you're going to land in the postseason?
No, I don't know. I'm kind of new to this. Parker has a better feel of it than I do, but I'm really new to this, and I just know we got to win games until that seeding meeting, because our record, if you look at our record, I mean, we're not very good, so I don't think it's a true reflection of who we are, though. We've had lineup changes, coaching changes, just so much, and now I think we're starting to hit our stride. So if we win some games, I believe that we would be able to get a higher seed. I don't know that we'd be good enough to be the number 1 seed in the sub-state, but top 3 is what we're shooting for.
Yeah, you'd like to have that first game be home.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, have I missed anything from this week's worth of?
I don't think so. I mean, it was just it was a pretty fun week of basketball. I feel like we got better every day. Tuesday night we didn't win, but. It was a far cry from what happened at DCG. Came back, practiced, and got better. Thursday, we got off the snide as far as, winning a conference game. So, it's just keep building on where we are, and I think we'll be okay moving forward.
All right. Well, thanks, DeJuan, for stopping by today.
Thank you.
And so we want to thank Wendell Campbell State Farm, Oskaloosa Hy-Vee for all they do to make this possible. We'll be right back after these messages.
How does MCG Internet stack up against the rest? Our customers' 4-letter word to describe us. Love. Their customers' 4-letter word to describe them. Join MCG and fall in love with your internet.
Shake the sugar tree till I feel you.
They was swinging. Yeah, just a swing. I'd get it one piece at a time, and it wouldn't cost me a dime. You mind your own business. Mind your own business. Everybody in town knows I'm crazy over you. Thunder Country, your all-time favorites.
Welcome back to Indians Corner, and we have Oskaloosa head wrestling coach Chase Weber here on the set with us. And it was, the season's just about over, but Thursday was kind of a goal-reaching day for you guys. You had talked about before that you wanted to reach a certain level of wins. And so kind of tell us, we'll start there. Did you guys make that goal?
Oh, we did. We ended up winning 2 out of those 3 duels, and it passed up on the most wins since 2014. There's 10 wins that season. We're at 11 right now. The only thing left is for team-wise, we want to get one more win Thursday, and we'll sit at 500, which will put us in that winning season category for the first time since 2008.
All right, so Thursday, that was 3 duels
3
at home. So you had 2 wins, one over Washington, another one over Keokuk, and then you guys got hit by the buzzsaw of Williamsburg.
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit about those 2 wins, and I think that there were some open weights that really played a factor in those duels.
Yeah, Jamie's asked about it a lot with talking about lineup and things, and having enough kids to fill the lineup has been huge in a lot of our dual wins. Even when we went to Iowa City, that helped play into part where we had extra guys so we could fill weights where other teams didn't. And so whether we're young or not, that's still helping us win. And Keokuk, they've been kind of small for a few years, and then Washington, just kind of a down year for them. I know I talked to their coach, and he said a couple injuries, a couple sicknesses, a couple kids had dropped off from the start of the year. So, I felt that my first year of how small teams, and then we got to be on the winning side of it. So.
I was going to say that was a 66-15 win over Washington and a 52-28 win over Keokuk. Then came Williamsburg at the end of the night, and that was, Williamsburg has a reputation for a reason.
Yes, exactly. I believe dual team-wise, they are supposed to be top-notch, and they got a couple of individuals, so maybe their tournament team doesn't show up on those rankings, but they got tough kids up and down that lineup. I think we talked last week that every one of their starters had over 20 wins coming in, and so we knew a little bit come ahead of time.
So it was a 69-6 win for Williamsburg, but you had some kids that did some good things. So let's kind of shine a light on some of those good things and things that came out of that.
We don't want to lose, but in those losses, we did see a lot of good. Before that meet, we kind of talked to the team with those 2 easy duels, as we want to call them. about coming out Williamsburg is going to be a lot different. And we talked to the young kids and even everybody up and down the lineup of how much you're going to have to battle in here, how much you're going to have to fight. And when we were done, they did. They did everything we asked. I mean, they were a step up from where they were earlier in the night. They were a step up maybe from some of them from last Saturday. And so really looking at how they performed. One of the big performers was Trey Miller, wrestling a tough kid, and he had been up and down over the weekend. So watching him battle, and in position where we almost finished the takedown to go up, and then the kid fought off, and then we kept wrestling all the way to the end. So we're really happy to see where our potential is going. We just gotta get that takedown instead of letting him slip out, and and then maybe it's a whole different story. We get that win, and then scores change and everything.
So we walk away Thursday night. I would say probably overall happy with things. Saturday brings the conference wrestling, and you guys had some bright spots in that as well. So let's kind of go through conference, and then we can kind of maybe start touch on what happens after this.
Conference tournament, we kind of start off a little harsh, getting out of school on time on the bus where we're trying to get there early. We just kind of had some sour notes going into the day. First round was a little flat, but then we finished really well. We still had 2 starters out, which kills our team points. So we're never yelling at kids about where we're at in those team standings as long as we're looking at individual progress. Mm-hmm. So to say that we finished well, a couple kids avenged losses from the first round. We don't want to lose first round, and that's something I got to fix for us for the next 2 weeks. But we had, I think, at least 2 kids got avenged over the same kid. And we had another person outplace the kid that beat him. And it's just like, okay, good. We responded well, recovered, wrestled better at the end than we did at the beginning. So that part's all good. Placement-wise, we had just 2 of the guys we didn't finish their last match. So overall, yes, good.
Well, and that winning that first round is ultra important, particularly in the next step for these guys. And if I'm remembering correctly, because if not, you might not make it to state then.
Correct. So like districts is even harder to where conference we can go all the way back to 3rd, and that's good because you get those extra matches. But districts is set up to where you lose first round, the best you do is 5th, and if you don't get 1st or 2nd, you're not guaranteed anything. So 3rd place at districts is you're there in case you get your match won. Okay, good. You're on the medal stand, and you're the backup. If anybody gets hurt, sick, suspended. It's happened before too, where you get the call, but 1st, 2nd, only top 2 go to state.
All right. Well, it's kind of, the conference, I think we had Keegan Mitz Butler. He came in 2nd place. We had a couple of 3rd place. Leland Evans and Wyatt Creer each had 3rd place. Kind of go through what's next for, those that were 4th and below, and what kind of happens for those that aren't quite as familiar with wrestling.
So with those guys building up, Keegan did good where we outplaced a couple of people that is going to help us with our seeding. And so for people to understand my wrestling-wise, basketball you kind of get set in those regionals based off your season performance. And then you play your game to move on. With our wrestling brackets, we get put on certain spots, and it could make your first round easy or hard. All right, if you've had maybe a rough year and you have to get drawn in blindly, you could go against a top-ranked guy first round, and your odds kind of go down. Versus have a good year, set yourself, that top half, and now you're looking where you can have it. We say easier first match, but you want that. You want to be able to go in there, wrestle hard, but we're going to be more confident. And then that first round, what we just talked about, we got to win that first round for any chance. So all that plays in. Those 3 guys that went 2nd, 3rd, 3rd. They're the ones looking. We're really trying to make sure we're looking where we're at. The next guy's down. We'll come down to Thursday, a couple of them. Pella's at our district, and so head-to-head, we get to be above people if we're head-to-head. So all of it matters. It has all year, but every month you move on, it's more and more important.
I say the clock is really ticking down on wrestling for this year. There'll be one more duel that folks can come watch you guys out here at the gym, and that'll be Thursday night. And what time do you guys start wrestling?
We'll start at 6:30 that night. It's just us and Pella right now. We should have a few JV to kick it off, and then once that's done, we'll probably roll right into varsity, get the lights dimmed, and showtime.
So, and then after that, what do the wrestlers have to look forward to?
They'll have that Saturday. They'll have off. We'll have a little practice that Saturday morning to keep us fresh, and then the next week it gives them 5 days to make weight instead of 3, and so they get to be a little bit more, energetic as much as we can. They can maintain a little bit easier, given extra days to watch yourself, so that they can look forward to that longer week where they have more flexibility in diet and exercise wise, so they should be able to be more relaxed and less stressed.
And then, so it's then, what's then next after Pella then?
So this coming Saturday is nothing, and then that next Saturday after that, so we're 2 weeks out from districts.
And after districts comes state.
Yeah, 3 days later, here we go.
Yeah, so some of those kids, the end of their wrestling career is probably coming to a close here pretty soon. Others, they have maybe a little more gas in the tank yet to show, but yeah, Oskaloosa Wrestling's coming to an end for the year. One more chance to come see them at the gymnasium this Thursday night. That duel will be broadcast on MCG Channel 7 and on IndiansNetwork.tv. Have we missed anything, Coach? Is there somebody that we should give a shout out to that maybe I've missed?
Just that it's going to be senior night on Thursday, so if you want to come out, support those guys one last time. We got 4 seniors this year, and it'd be great to have this more and more. Fans looked good last Thursday. We had a nice loud crowd helping us out, but senior night we can step it up one more notch and send them out with a proper goodbye.
I was going to say, those kids love it when folks come out and watch them perform. So, all righty, well, we thank you, Coach, and we look forward to seeing what progress is made here in the near future.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
All righty, well, that's head coach Chase Weber. We'll be back here in a few moments after these messages.
Hy-Vee's Choice Reserve and Prime Reserve Beef, arguably the best beef in America. Their quality and flavor are undisputable, undeniable. Let's get ready to be unstoppable! Unanimous decision, Hy-Vee!
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
Call State Farm agent Wendell Campbell at 641-673-4462.
Oskaloosa. It's our community, and we're thankful to be a part of it. Telling its stories, sharing its smiles. We're building community, keeping you informed, giving you a voice, letting you know you're never alone during the victories and the losses, happiness and pain. For tomorrow's a new day, and we'll be there, working for you, ready to tell your story. That's our commitment. It's what we do, now and in the future. Because we're always on. We're Oskaloosa News.
Well, that's all for today. We want to thank Wendell Campbell State Farm and Oskaloosa Hy-Vee for sponsoring this. In other news, we really did want to have a shout out to the Oskaloosa boys swim team. Their 200-meter relay team finished 3rd place at districts held at Coe College. And OHS head boys swim coach was named to the North Central Swim Conference Coaching Staff of the Year. In alumni news, an OHS alumni shout out to Talon Munger and Carter Heiser, who are part of the 4x800 meter relay team for Grandview, and they qualified for the Nationals. In other alumni news, Emma Kelderman was named to the ITC Elite All-State Track and Field team. Later on this week, you can catch the Indians on MCG Channel 7 on the IndiansNetwork.tv as they take on Norwalk at Norwalk. That'll be an audio-only broadcast. That'll get underway at 5:30. Wrestling returns, as you heard, to the OHS gym on Thursday night, as the wrestlers will take on Pella. That will start at 6:05 p.m. on MCG Channel 7 and the IndiansNetwork.tv. Indians basketball then returns home on Friday night, and they'll take on Pella. So it's a week of Pella, and the broadcast for that will start at 5:30. One correction from when we talked to JC earlier in the program. Thursday night's game against Grinnell will be at Grinnell, and that'll be an audio-only broadcast from Grinnell. I'd like to give a special thanks to those coaches, JC White, Dwan Foster, and Chase Weber, for coming in and taking time on Super Bowl Sunday. That's when this is filmed. I'd also like to thank the hardworking students from OVP and the Oskaloosa High School who work behind the scenes to help make all of those broadcasts possible. I'm Ken Alsop from Oskaloosa News, and I'd like to thank my partners from Thunder Country, KIC, and Mahaska Communications Group for all the work they do in helping make the Indians Network possible. From all of us, thank you for watching.